this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamena. Joining me now is Supervisor Haubert. Welcome. We're so pleased to see you here today.
Thanks for having me, Marshall. Always a good time.
You always have wonderful things to say, and I'd like to start out with Supervisor's Choice, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Marshall. 9/11 is coming up, September 11th. This is the 25th year anniversary of the attack on America. We're going to hold a remembrance. I don't want to say a celebration because it's not a celebration, Marshall, but it is a somber event, and we will hold a ceremony to remember what our country went through at that time. We're going to have guests from our first responders, police and fire, a couple of guest speakers. We're going to just do it right like we do every year, but we're going to do just a little more special this year because it is the 25th year anniversary. This is going to be on 9/11, September 11th. It will be at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. My office is coordinating this effort in consultation with the Deputy Sheriff's Association, the California Highway Patrol, the Alameda County Fire Department, and our first responders, that people are welcome to attend. It's free for everyone. It will be at 9 o'clock on September 11th at the Alameda County Fairgrounds.
Okay. Be there or be square.
Be there or be square.
The next one I'm wondering about has only one L in it. And so I don't know if it's Velo or Velo. What do you
I think
call
it's Velo, Marshall. I want to say that. I hope that. It sounds right to me.
Well, with two
More importantly, all the people that they employ in the city of Livermore and the new facility that they opened. And Marshall, this company is doing great things. They are able to take 3D printing to the next level. 3D printing used to be just for mock-ups and prototypes and things that you would then build into a manufacturing facility. They're now actually manufacturing finished products with 3D printing technologies. And they're producing tons and tons of 3D products for all kinds of industries, the automotive industry, the housing industry. They're even making, and I have a picture of me holding it's a munition of some kind, Marshall. I don't know exactly what it is, but
secret.
They're purchased by the Defense Department or
Yeah.
Department of War, whatever they call themselves today. The point is they're employing hundreds of people in a 289,000 square foot campus in Livermore. These are good, high-paying jobs, but the people that run the facility there are good people, employing people and providing a great service and a great product. We're lucky to have them.
Were they being sought out by our local people here, or were they looking for us?
I think that Livermore has a great group of people. Brendan Cardwell is one, and others in the Economic Development Department. Mariana, the city manager, Mayor Marchand, I know, is a supporter of the business community. I don't know who sought who out, but what I did hear, the CEO and owner of the company praised the city of Livermore for helping to facilitate their move in, helping to make sure. And it's so important, Marshall, we can't say enough about how important it is for a local municipality to be solution-oriented, to be business-friendly, to be welcoming with open arms, as opposed to closed-minded and barrier-driven and tough to negotiate with. Those cities ultimately fall and fail. Cities like Livermore are open for business. Cities like Dublin, the whole Tri-Valley, open for business. And that's what I'd like to hear when I find companies that move here and they say they had a great experience.
Oh, I'll bet you're proud.
Very.
Here's a ticklish one. Minimum wage.
Yes.
There's been some discussion recently about minimum wage in Alameda County. A raise to $30 is being discussed. However, it's not quite that simple, as we're learning from you. And what's your stand on the issue, and where does the discussion go from here?
Marshall, it does happen that people are concerned about affordability, the cost of living, especially in the Bay Area, some of the highest costs in the world. Some people think that if you simply required employers to pay more, that people would be able to earn more and everything would be good. That's a promise in the future, but it's a false promise, Marshall, because time and time again it's been proven. I think we're going to find that when you impose, as a government does, regulations on wages, it leads to inflation. I think that's what we're going to find out. The long and short of this, Marshall, is that the people collected enough signatures to put this on a ballot. I think they need 10% of the electorate, something like that. I think they even collected a little bit more than 10%. But that just means it can go on a ballot. Before it goes on the ballot, though, we as a county have the ability to just adopt their proposal, which we can do. And before we consider that, we want to study this. We want our own independent study that we commission by a reputable economics firm that will study what the effects could be if we did this decision. We're going to get the results back from that within 30 days. It's a quick process. We're going to quickly find out, is this a good thing or not? Not from what we believe in our hearts or what we think. We're not economists. We're going to ask the experts what they think this would do to the economy. I think it's going to lead to a conclusion that not only will it lead to inflation, it will lead to companies that will leave because they can go elsewhere and they have a choice. It will also lead to an unfair playing field because unincorporated Alameda County is surrounded by local municipalities. If you're in Castro Valley, you can walk across the street and be in San Leandro, and you'll have two companies side by side. One has to pay a minimum wage of $30. The other doesn't have to pay a minimum wage of $16.90 or whatever the minimum wage will be. So it's unfair from that perspective, and I think we'll find that it'll lead to massive inflation.
Well, I hear from the underground that you're the only one with the responsible position.
Well, we did vote 3-2. It was a split vote. Mm-hmm. Supervisor Miley, Supervisor Tam, and I agreed to do a study. Supervisor Marquez and Fortunato Bass supported putting this on the ballot sooner. So the choice was put it on the ballot right now, coming up in November of 2026. Let the people vote now. The other option is to study this and put it on the ballot in March of 2028. And we just thought it was, why rush, get the study, find out the facts, and then decide. That means that it will go on the ballot. People will get to vote on this, but they'll vote with having facts and all the detail that they need to make an informed decision. And that's democracy, right? It goes on the ballot, everyone votes, but we do it in a way that's responsible with the facts.
Well, thank you for being that thorough. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisors Report with the President of the Board, David Haubert, in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with President David Haubert. Now, has the issue of low to moderate housing in District 1 been on par with your expectations? We've talked before about the shelters and other support for the homeless that are available in Alameda County. For example, Tri-Valley Haven,
yes,
one of our favorites. Have they reached capacity?
Marshall, we can't build, it's hard to build enough for everyone. We have a housing shortage in California and here in the Tri-Valley. We're no exception. We have to create more housing to house the population. Housing can be thought of, I think, in sort of two ways. One, first of all, everybody has to be housed. You cannot sustain yourself. You will decline in health and have bad outcomes if you're unhoused. You have to have shelter. You have to stay warm in the cold evenings, and you have to stay cool during the hot days, and that's what shelter provides. So for homeless people, we think of housing in a shelter. We, throughout the county, have various shelters that can take people in on a very temporary basis, maybe just for one night or a short period of time until you can get into permanent housing. Again, we have to build enough permanent housing.
And if you're lucky enough to have a boy, you might not find it so easy.
That's right, and it's expensive. It's very expensive. And then if you're fleeing domestic violence, like the people at Tri-Valley Haven, again, a temporary experience. You're fleeing, you need something that night for a temporary short period of time. Tri-Valley Haven does a great job. In fact, they are the only place to go if you have a teenage son with you. Go to Tri-Valley Haven. We need more shelter beds, temporary support for getting people off the street now, and we need more permanent places for them to live. We need them both. It's yes, shelters and more permanent housing. In Alameda County, we do a good job of building as many homes as we can, and we're required to do so by the state of California. They have what they call the Regional Housing Needs Allocation.
They call that RENA?
RENA.
Yes.
RENA. Somehow this name RENA, I've never met RENA.
Sound like a queen.
But Queen RENA will tell you that for your region, and that's defined by city or county, what the housing needs are, the state will determine that, and then they'll give you an allocation and say you have to plan to build this number of homes. Doesn't mean that the homes get built, you just have a plan in place that allows for them. So you have to identify all the parcels of land that you have, and you have to have zoning that allows for the development of homes and has to add up to the number that you're allocated by the state. So we have centralized planning by the state of California telling you to plan for a certain amount of numbers of housing. They've been doing this for years. Some cities try we all try to get there, Marshall, but some cities get closer than others. We've never hit our RENA numbers. I doubt that we ever will, but we have to make a good college try at it, Marshall. That means when people are willing to risk their own money to apply to buy a piece of property and put a house on it,
yes,
they're going to do that because they'll make a return. These are the developers that provide housing. We're there to process their applications and make sure that they can be able to complete the building plans that they have. We try to encourage that, and as a county, we've even taxed ourselves to help participate with nonprofit housing providers who take money from the county and take money from other instruments, investors that invest in low-income housing and government grants and the like, and they'll be like Eden Housing, and they'll build units that are then provided to people with a subsidy. So it's called low-income housing or moderate income housing. It's not affordable per se. Yep. Marshall, we call it affordable. It's not affordable. It's very expensive. We just allow it to the resident to be affordable. It's subsidized. It will be subsidized.
That's not what everybody understands either, is it?
That term affordable housing sounds so good.
Yes.
It's not affordable, it's expensive, but it's subsidized for those that can't afford a market rate.
Amen.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
And the more it costs, the fewer you can provide.
Isn't that
That's
true?
just simple math.
Axiomatic. What resources does the county provide seniors and others to cool off on hot days and also for evacuations?
It's a great point, Marshall. It dovetails with what we talked about earlier about people needing to be housed and they need shelter. And if you're out in the elements, you will inevitably suffer. It's true in the cold and it's true in the heat. We encourage everyone during the day, go to public places, the library, city hall, other public buildings that allow for air-conditioned spaces to be in, especially when the weather is super hot. We provide that kind of temporary during the day shelter. Every city does, every county does. But if it sneaks up on somebody, it can be disastrous. So especially if it's for a frail senior, we've heard horror stories of people dying inside their home because they don't have air conditioning.
Isn't that horrible?
And it happens sometimes. So we want everybody to seek cool temperatures and to seek hydration, water. We provide that free of charge, and we ask everyone to please be considerate of yourself, hydrate, and seek cool places, especially during the heat of the day.
Amen.
Yeah.
Are there some upcoming events that you'd like to talk about?
Well, Marshall, I'm going to go back in time, actually, and just make an announcement about how on the 24th of July, my annual barbecue event, where we honored 17 first responders. 17 first responders. These are the police and fire and ambulance services in my district. And I think a couple of them were recognized as a team for doing a specific act of heroism. So I think one was 3. So one agency got to recognize 3 people because they did it as a team. And I gave all 3 of them a trophy and a write-up for the community to see, a big billboard with their photo on it, and they could take it home and put it in their office, and a trophy to put on their desk or at their home. We want to give recognition to those heroes in our community that keep us safe. Police, fire, and ambulance. We did 17 of them on July 24th. We do this every year, and in fact, this was the second year. I even included the police and fire from the city of Oakland. I know that it's not in my district, but as the president of the board, and as I serve all of Alameda County, I felt it important to also recognize Oakland.
Well, the previous supervisor started this as a theme, but you're taking it to another level, and I congratulate you.
Thank you.
Are there any other events you'd like to talk about?
Marshall, I just wish everybody a great transition from the end of summer into the fall season. As we know, it's still hot out, so it feels like summer. It is still summer, but kids are back in school, and life sort of pivots to a new way of living. And pretty before we know it, Marshall, it'll be cool fall, and we'll be celebrating the holidays.
What grades are your young ones in?
Marshall, my children have all, I'm really proud, they all graduated through public schools in Dublin. They all went on to university, a college degree, a master's degree. My youngest is now getting her PhD from Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Fordham, a wonderful institution. She's getting a PhD, Marshall, in theology and philosophy. She is a deep, deep thinker. She gets it from her mom, okay? We all know that. She's her mom's daughter. She's a deep thinker. Courtney is amazing. She's master's degree from Harvard Divinity, undergraduate degree from Baylor University in Texas, and now getting her PhD, Fordham University in the Bronx.
Seems like yesterday when you and they were here installing you in this very studio.
That's right, yeah.
You look the same. Sorry, I can't.
Marshall, it's been a whirlwind, that's for sure.
Well, thank you, Supervisor, for being here today and updating us. I'm Dr. Marshall Kamena. Join us for the next episode of Supervisor's Report with David Haubert right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you for watching.